Okay. Good luck dong. Ingat ha. Okay. Oy, tabaghak away na lahat, hindi na drawing.
It is Neary working in his corner. They all work with Manny Pacquiao. They're all part of Pacquiao's team. Coy Evans from Philadelphia comes in here. He's got the red and white trims with the black shoes and the kind of the heavier chin facial hair. He turned pro in 2004, winning a majority decision over Edward Valdez in Philadelphia. Never been 8 rounds, been 6 rounds 4 times, though, and this is scheduled for 8. He's a boxer that kind of lacks one-punch KO power. I'm talking about the guy, Coy Evans, who actually has the white trim on the top of his trunks to the left of your screen. Now, the other guy, Ernie Sanchez, 13-3 with 5 KOs from the Philippines, is back to you now. He's got red and blue with the gold around the middle. You see the Philippines flag there as well. And he has a little bit less facial hair. He turned pro in August of '09 with a first-round knockout over Chris Espanola in the Philippines. He went on to win his first 11 professional fights. And last year he dropped 3 fights in a row by decision, including a 12-round unanimous decision to Robert Kopapolio for the WBO interim Asia Pacific title in Indonesia. We welcome our audience, a streaming audience all over the United States of America and the various networks that have us. It's all brought to you by Top Rank Boxing. And I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan. Glad that you can be with us. For our main 4 fights, I'll have Jaime Mota joining me, and Christina Poncha will bring us some color from around the arena at that time. Again, it's Sanchez with the red and blue. Coy Evans with the red and white to the right of your screen. This is just round number 1. So that guy looks like Pacquiao a little bit, the kid from the Philippines, doesn't he? He trains in the corner with him. Both guys getting jabs in. Hard shot by Evans that time with the right hand. Big boxing weekend here in Nevada. We had fights at the Mirage on Thursday night, and then on Friday, last night we had the fights at Texas Station, and now tonight the undercard, and then of course the big one all leading up to Marquez Pacquiao 4. So wherever you're watching us streaming, it's not too late to get signed up for the pay-per-view around the world and across the United States. It's sure to be an action-packed fighter. Nice shot that time by the kid from the Philippines, Sanchez. Sanchez appears to have just slightly quicker hands. Went with the right hand lead and immediately countered by Coy Evans. Good job by Evans. Now hard punches to the body by Ernie Sanchez. Right back comes Coy Evans with a strong right hand of his own. Blasts the left ear of Sanchez. Here comes the bell to end round number 1. Not a lot between them there, but I think that Sanchez was just a little bit busier, so I'll give him that round. Remember, this is scheduled for 8 rounds. This is Sanchez with Buboy Fernandez. General Santos City in the Philippines. Miguel Diaz with him, and across the way we've got Derek Ennis, Mose Gonzalez, and Sean Lewis. All work the corner with Coy Evans. Coy is 10-1 with a draw. Evenly matched coming into this fight.
Deep breath. Right there, so back, so back his neck.
And again, this is scheduled for 8 rounds. All right, here we go with round number 2. Again, the unified rules of boxing will be used throughout the course of the evening. 10-point must scoring system. I kind of rushed through them at the top. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved with the bell in any round. Only the referee can stop the fight. And if we get into any accidental fouls, I'll explain that as it becomes pertinent to the fight. Sanchez is in the red and blue from the Philippines, from Philadelphia. Coy Evans facing you right now. Evans doesn't mind loading up shots either. Oh, nice short, crisp right hand. Sanchez has a tendency when he puts his jab out to bring it back to his chest instead of getting it back up high, and he can be countered with that right hand, and that's exactly what is happening with Coy Evans doing that to him. Evans facing you to the left of your screen now is Ernie Sanchez from the Philippines. There's that right hand, and it's going to stay there because every time that the kid from the Philippines reaches out with his left hand, he drops it. He brings it back to his chest instead of back upstairs. Watch what I'm talking about here. See, he drops it when he goes with his right hand. As the right hand is there all night for Coy Evans. He'll sit down on one of these punches, he'll drop this kid. Now, he had the idea then because Sanchez had the hand down again, but he came with the left hook instead of the right hand. As the right hand again. These are solid shots. So you talk about effective aggressiveness and hard punching. Evans is having a good round here with almost 2 minutes gone. You got Sanchez hanging on. Sanchez takes a body shot. Vic Dracula says keep him up. Vic's not afraid to take a point away. He did it last night in the fight over at Texas Station. He had to take a point away from the fighter. Here, Coy Evans didn't walk into this ring as an opponent for Ernie Sanchez. At least he's making Sanchez. Oh, he hit them with that right hand again. I told you it's there all night. He's going to drop him one of these times with that right hand. Now back on his heels is Sanchez. Sanchez is a really good boxer. One of the kind of the knock on Evans is that he hasn't been sitting down in his punches. He only has 2 knockouts in his 10 wins, but my God, he's sitting down in that right hand. And a lot of that has to do with the lack of technique of Sanchez in getting his left hand back. And it's wide open all night. See, he reaches with the right hand. Closing seconds of round number 2. Good round for Coy Evans.
I'm standing right outside Manny Pacquiao's locker room. He should be here around 6 o'clock. And being around Manny throughout this entire training camp, I haven't seen him as focused for any fight, really, as he is for this one. He had a lot of distractions going into the Timothy Bradley fight, but he wanted to make sure that he was ready for the 4th fight against Juan Manuel Marquez. He knows that there are a lot of people that still have doubts whether he won the last 2 and whether he actually had the draw in the first fight between these 2 guys. He wants to have a convincing win tonight against Juan Manuel Marquez and be able to say to everybody, I told you so, I'm the better of the 2.
That's Jaime Mota, who spent a lot of time, as you heard him say, with Manny in training. He lives in Los Angeles, so able to get over to that gym quite a bit, the Wildcard gym run by Freddie. And so he knows him really well. And, of course, Jaime will be joining us for the do color on the telecast when we go to the main bouts this evening. As again, Sanchez in the black, rather in the red with the white trim, loading up shots against the kid from the Philippines, Ernie Sanchez. Sanchez was busier in the first round, but boy, there's that right hand again that buckled the knees of Sanchez. Sanchez having trouble protecting himself. And that time, Vic said that last shot was a bit on the low side, but that isn't the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one that's on the high side with the right hand that's ticketed for the left side of the jaw of Ernie Sanchez. Sanchez loads up his shot, but he exposes himself, comes to the left hook, and now he's going to work with his right hand. Boy, this is a nice fight all of a sudden. Sanchez tired of getting pummeled with the right hand, so he's throwing a lot of shots. And the best defense against a guy that's doing that to you is doing just exactly what he's doing. As this is an 8-round fight, though, and he's letting a lot go here in round number 3. And down goes Coy Evans. How about that? It's up to 4 and 5. He should be able to get up. His eyes are clear. It's at 7 and 8. Oh, he makes it back up, but that's a big surprise after the way Evans fought in the last round that he's been knocked down. Sanchez will try to take him out right now because he let an awful lot of everything go in this 3rd round. Blasts him to the body, back upstairs with the left hook. Evans' eyes appear to be clear, but his legs don't seem to be strong right now. Kid from the Philippines in the multicolored trunks comes forward, blasts that body again, back upstairs with the left hook. Downstairs again under the elbow, back up to the ear. Wow, look at that. Loads up the left-hand shot. And all of a sudden, this whole thing turned around. Coy can't land his right hand. Sanchez is really all over him, and he's got enough time to take him out, but I tell you, Coy comes back with a couple of chopping right hands. If he gets back into this round, Sanchez has expended a lot of energy in a very early round here, trying to take this guy out. They exchange jabs. 31 seconds ago, nice uppercut by Coy Evans. Evans to the left of your screen has been down in this round. Now he's back with the right hand again. Sanchez a little bit gassed from everything that he's put out and the effort that he's put forth in this 3rd round. Oh, nice left hand, that hook by Sanchez again, and another one. Here comes the bell to end the 3rd round. Interesting round. All right, we're going to show you the knockdown in slow motion. Then we're going to show you something that Top Rank is trying to develop, and that's the special heat camera. There's the knockdown, the straight right hand. And down he goes. And another normal look. Right on the chin he caught him, and back he goes. He can't hold his balance. Now here it is on a heat sensing camera, and this is the first time I've seen this too. Boom, right there. Down he goes. So the heat sensing camera shows us where the blood flow is for sure in the upper body, where all the heat is. And it kind of looks like a painting from Neiman. It shows the conditioning of the fighters later in the fight. The other thing we want to see with that camera and that replay is the significance of the punch, how much power there is, and if the heat changes when a guy gets nailed. So those are the things we're looking for with this new heat-seeking missile camera. We're in round number 4. Last round was a 10-8 round, so Evans is back out in front, rather Sanchez is back out in front in this fight. This is round 4. It's scheduled for 8. Remember, Ernie Sanchez to the right of your screen, now with his back to you, and out to the left of your screen, expended a lot of energy in the last round trying to take out Coy Evans. Evans in the red trunks with the white trim. Sanchez has the gold trim and the blue and red trunks. Is that right hand that's been successful for Coy, but he hasn't been able to drop Sanchez, and Evans was on his back, as we showed you the replay in between the third and the start of this round, the 4th round. Nice jab. You notice when he's jabbing now and reaching Sanchez that somebody in his corner, namely Boo Boy, who also works with Manny Pacquiao, he's told him to keep that right hand up and the left hand, bring it back to your chin. Now he's not going to be able to do that when fatigue sets in, because that's something you got to do in the gym, and he's in that habit. See, he carries the left hand low, and if you see a quick jab or an uppercut like that Coy Evans came with, then he drops the left hand and he's open for the right hand. But his best defense he showed in the last round when he just goes all offense. And he went all out for, I would say, 2 minutes of that third round. So kind of taking a little bit easier in this round, but he's landing his share of punches. There's the right hand again that is there all night for Evans. He missed it that time, but he was going for it again. He's had really good accuracy. That's the first one that he's really missed to the left side of the cheek of Ernie Sanchez. Right hand there again, caught him on the ear. And again, if you watch, and this shot here, whenever Sanchez reaches with the right hand, he drops his left. When he throws his left, the left hand comes back. Closing seconds now of the 4th round. This is a bitter round for Coy Evans. I don't know if he's done enough to win it, but we'll see how the judges see it. All right, Christina has a guest, so let's listen in on Christina Pancha.
Ya que llegamos a esta pelea, de preparar la preparación, todas las conferencias, todo lo que se ha hecho para llegar a este día, ¿cómo te sientes por la preparación?
Yo creo que es la mejor preparación de las 3 peleas anteriores que han tenido. Esta es la mejor preparación de Juan Manuel.
This is the best preparation in the 3 fights that he's had with Pacquiao. This is the best he's felt ever. ¿Por qué?
Porque ha trabajado 4 meses y ha trabajado muy bien la velocidad explosiva, y creo que la vamos a echar a funcionar a ver si nos da una mejor oportunidad que las otras veces.
Because he's worked really hard. He's worked about 4 months worth of training and dieting and making sure he's okay. And they're pretty confident that out of all the 3 fights, this is the best preparation that they're ready for.
Thank you, Christina, and that's Nacho Baristan, of course, the Hall of Fame trainer for Juan Manuel Marquez. He's been with him since he's a kid, so it's been a long time. All right, here we go. This is round number 5, back inside the arena. Our principals, Ernie Sanchez from the Philippines in the red with the blue trunks, loads up that left hook. Now he's got the left hand going really good. He still has a tendency to drop it, but he's very quick with it, getting it to the chin of Coy Evans. Last round was a close round, but I gave it to Evans. Sanchez had the 3rd round. That's the difference in the fight so far. Back upstairs comes the fella from the Philippines again, Ernie Sanchez. Sanchez facing you now. That's Coy Evans with his back to, with the white trim and his red trunks and black shoes. Nice straight right hand lead that time by Sanchez. Sanchez with his back to you, loads up with the right hand, and more of a hook that time. Nice jab. This kid's got a nice jab, but he doesn't double with it. If he doubled with that jab, man, he could get his right hand in there really, really quick. See, one jab at a time, one jab at a time. And it allows Evans to come over him with his own right hand. Watch the way he jabs. Jab. That time he went jab, right hand. That's okay. As long as there's something behind the jab, then the jab is effective. He bends down, but he bends down right in front of Evans. That's not the place you want to be. You want to get angles when you're going to do that sort of thing. Either that, you come into the kill zone, you want to be throwing punches, not bending over in front of the guy so he can counter you with an uppercut. Decent jab by Coy. Whacks him again with that right hand that's been there all night. Less than a minute to go in the 5th round of this scheduled 8-round affair. The nice uppercut that he caught him with. And I told you, if Sanchez continues to come in, this kid's a good fighter, but he makes mistakes. Bends over, got a good shot off that time. He bends over, he drops the left hand, especially after the hook. If Coy could time that right hand when he throws the left hook, man, just sort of think and concentrate on that and throw a few jabs or wait till he throws that hook and then counter him. He could drop Sanchez, and he needs to get right back into this fight after being down himself in the 3rd round. Scheduled for 8 rounds, as you see on your screen. This is the 5th round. Inside of 10 seconds remaining now in round number 5. Right hand lead that time by Sanchez. Gee, I don't know. I thought Evans had a decent round there. The fight just about even after 5 rounds in spite of the knockdowns. I thought that Evans landed some decent shots there. They're speaking in Tagalog. There's that uppercut that caught him really good. Here it is again. Boom, look at that. And that's why I gave Coy Evans that round. Those are 2 of the most... and there's the thermal look at it. Let's see now if we can see any blood change when the uppercut comes. Nope, didn't quite see it there. We're going to keep on that, though, to see what we can see. This new innovation by Top Rank Boxing. Here we go in round number 6. Again, scheduled for 8 rounds. Ernie Sanchez in the red and blue from the Philippines, and the fellow from Philadelphia. And the USA is Coy Evans. He's facing you in the red trunks with the white trim and the black shoes. This is 3 jabs in a row, so Boo Boy must have felt the same thing I did. You know, start jabbing with a couple of times instead of just one. Unless you're going to throw something right behind it. Nice uppercut again. Now that time, Vic Draculich came in and said that was low. He must have been talking about the punch before the uppercut. The uppercut snapped the head. Vic's a good one. He knows what he saw. As Evans' people in his corner want him to throw his jab stiff with the right hand behind it. There it is, but they'd like for him to double it. There's the double jab right hand, and that's what he needs to do. Right back with his left hand comes Sanchez. Sanchez is tough. There's a little bit of a low blow. Vic says, keep him up. Keep him up. Left hook, digging body shot. This is good stuff now by Sanchez. Reaching with that right hand. That's not a great punch for him, but he has a tendency to do that. He's not in the proper balance and doesn't sit down on it. It's a wasted punch, and he's wide open for a counter right hand. Now, he better commit to that right hand when he throws it. Don't paw with it. A nice left hook. Sanchez having a better round this time around. Although the styles of these fighters makes for a really nice fight we're watching here. Nice body shot again. There's been 2 uppercuts, and that was a real solid body shot by Coy Evans. It was a right hand lead, but that time he threw it with the malice of forethought that I was asking for the last time. I like that when he throws the right hand and sits down on it. Exchange jabs. Stiff jab that time by Sanchez, but the lack of the double jab hurts him. Coy has him lined up. The uppercut misses. And when you miss an uppercut and you're in tight like that, my golly, you better look out for that right hand coming back at you, especially the way Sanchez throws punches. He's just a very nice little fighter, but he's still learning. He's only 20 years of age. He's going to be a good one. Jab in his face from the 28-year-old Coy Evans. Looping right hand catches him that time, and a hard right hand. He pays the price for it. Evans is tough. He takes another right hand. Closing seconds of the 6th round. You know, Evans was down in the 3rd. Other than that, nobody's really been shaken in this fight, and there's been some good fights. All right, Jaime Mota has his thoughts on Juan Manuel Marquez, so let's go to Jaime.
Thank you, Colonel. Standing right outside Juan Manuel Marquez's locker room, and the Mexican pretty much has been telling anyone who will listen that he's been the one that's been victorious in the previous 3 fights, even though he's been down in the first fight 3 times, once in the second fight. After that, pretty much he's been able to control Manny Pacquiao. Not only that, statistics back up what he says. In 36 very hard-fought rounds, Marquez has been able to outland Manny Pacquiao by 10 punches or more 2 times. Manny has only been able to do it once. That's why he says tonight he will prove to Pacquiao and the rest of the world that he's been the better of the 2 so far.
Good comments, Jaime. Good statistics there, too. The big difference, even though Marquez is 1 more rounds, 56 to 52, is that Marquez has been down the 4 times in the fights, and that's pretty much the difference. So tonight he wants to put Pacquiao down. We'll see. And he looks big and strong to me. This is round 7. We got the kid from the Philippines, Ernie Sanchez, 20 years of age, in the multicolored trunks with the multicolored shoes. And he's taking on Coy Evans. Evans started to crawl back in the fight there a bit in the 4th round, but 5 and 6, Sanchez is back to his old wares. Landing hard shots with his left hook, and in the last round he landed a couple of really solid right hands. That's not the right hand I like. That's the one that could be very dangerous. When he reaches with his right hand, he drops his left and he can be countered with the right hand. Luckily for him, it hasn't happened. Sanchez hasn't picked it up. But if he does, he'll drop this kid. Body, inside, body shots. That was a double jab there, so that's good. Buboy has got the Sanchez doubling occasionally when he can think of it, but there's a fatigue factor now. They're in the 7th round of a scheduled 8-round affair. Coy Evans with his back to, takes the jab off the gloves of Sanchez. Nice right hand, left hook. That, I like it when he throws his right hand hard. And that time he threw his right hand and smothered the counter. That's not bad. That's good. Almost walked past him. Nice uppercut on the inside again by Sanchez. Sanchez having a real good round. He's not afraid to take a shot. He's in great shape. Left hook, and he's been able to gobble up that right hand that has caught him, I would say, on 6 or 7 occasions during the course of the fight. You'll see his left eye is very puffed from getting hit by that right hand, but he's quick in and out, so it hasn't done to him what I thought and feared it might happen to him. For Coy, you would want him to be able to land more of those right hands to try and drop him if you're a McCoy fan. A Evans fan. Coy is his first name. Inside of 30 seconds to go now in the 7th round. Little fatigue factor here. There's been a really good pace to this fight. That sneaky right-hand lead, but that time he threw it with authority, and I don't mind if he does it with authority, because when he catches Evans, Evans can't counter it. That's the dangerous shot there, when he loads up his left hook and falls off balance, but Evans has got to be in position, and he wasn't to land it. That ends the 7th round, and that goes in the books for Sanchez. Good round.
1-2 shots like I told you.
It's numb. I cannot feel it.
Well, throw your hook, man. Throw your hook or something, boy. You gotta do something, man.
Beat him with the jab, boy.
You
Okay?
know how we do it? We gotta
Box. Beat him
hook and box.
motherfucker with the jab there. When you
Yeah.
throw the right hand, throw the fucking right hand. All right?
Yeah.
In the final round, touch him up middle of the ring.
Cool. Just go all out. Let's be
don't-
smart. You hear me?
But don't
Be
give
smart.
him nothing. Use
Cool.
your
When you
hand.
hurt
Be
him,
All right, we've got a situation here where we're using this heat cam, and we're trying to figure out if it has anything to do with the conditioning of the athlete. So let's just take a look at it right here. You see all the red around. It looks like Evans, and does it have anything to do with conditioning? I don't know, but he's very, very hot. His face, his head, that has a lot to do with maybe the blood flow, blood pressure maybe, and we're trying to analyze this to see if it has anything to do with the conditioning of the fighters. And we're going to continue to use it throughout the night just to see if it's another indication of how we can measure really the health of a fighter, I suppose, Journey, because it's not going to have anything to do with the scoring because nobody else is going to see it except you folks at home. All right, this is the 8th round, the final round of this featherweight battle at 126 pounds. Both come in slightly heavy. Evans was a half pound over, and Sanchez at 127, a full pound over. I have Sanchez out in front in the fight. He knocked Sanchez down back in the, he knocked Coy Evans down back in the 3rd round, so Sanchez is ahead in the fight, in my opinion. Landed heavier blows, landed more blows. The young 20-year-old has escaped with a few mistakes that he makes, but working in the Pacquiao camp, they'll improve on that, and he will improve all the time. This kid has a lot of tools. He's quick on his hands, he's quick on his feet. He loves that right hand lead. Sometimes he lands up with significant power like he did that last one. Feints to the left, continues to circle, comes with the left hook that time. Evans just can't seem to catch up with this guy. What he needs to do is take a step off the left shoulder and stop this guy from circling to his left. He continues circling to his left, does Sanchez, and Coy can't figure him out. Best thing to do with that, now he's got him going the other way because he threw the right hand, and that's what you have to do. Now step up to that left shoulder and throw your right hand. Take the vision away with your left and throw the right hand. And it's there, but he doesn't see it. And by the way, he has been complaining to his corner that he injured his right hand, and I'm not sure when. And he said his right hand is numb. So that may have something to do with the lack of really solid right hands that we're seeing from Coy Evans, because earlier his right hand was very successful, but it seems like he's pushing it out a little bit more now with the numbness that's in it. He's kind of a one-handed fighter right now. Less than a minute to go in this fight. Coming up after this one, we got another 8-round super featherweight featuring Dodi Boy Penalosa and Jesus Lule Reyes. And of course the big one, Pacquiao Marquez 4, coming up a little over an hour from now before it all starts. Digging body shot again by Sanchez. I'll tell you, with the injury to Coy Evans' hand, he's doing a pretty good job hanging in there, but he's not winning the round. All right, closing seconds now of the fight. The bell ends it. And that final round goes in Sanchez' favor. So I've got it scored 77-74 in favor of Sanchez. Our official judges are Tim Cheatham, Lisa Giampa, and Jerry Roth. Sanchez was not down in the fight. He had one round that he was kind of resting after really exhausting himself. He had Evans down in the third. Very, very busy in the fourth round. So this one goes to the scorecards. Good fight. Entertaining fight. Hard fight. It was a step up in class for both fighters fighting each other. Ernie Sanchez, the 20-year-old, came in here 13-3 with 5 knockouts. Coy came in at 10-1-1 with 2 knockouts. And here's the way it started out in round 1. You notice that Sanchez found a home for that right hand early in the fight. Does the right hand again. He's still throwing it. There he is in round 4, still able, Evans rather, able to land that right hand. He found the home early for it, and he really couldn't take advantage of it at this stage in the fight anymore because I think he injured the hand. And you see, this is round 3 where he gets knocked down. And almost from that point on, the right hand doesn't become such a big factor. That was the 1 knockdown in the 3rd round, by the way. This is round 5, so he comes with the uppercut. Oh, Evans did some nice things, but notice the way Sanchez's conditioning allowed him to gobble up. Looping right hand again. This is a tough fight. Look at these guys seesawing back and forth here. And so that was a really, really nice fight. Okay, Lupe Contreras has all the official particulars, so let's go right to him. Here's Lupe.
Ladies and gentlemen, after completing the scheduled 8 rounds here at the MGM Grand Arena, we go to the scorecards to determine a winner. Judges Giampa and Roth score the bout identically at 78-73, and Judge Cheatham scores it 77-74. All 3 in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. Ernie "The Rock" Sanchez.
So Ernie Sanchez, the judges had it about the same way I had it. As a matter of fact, Tim Cheatham had it exactly the way I had it, 77.